नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति स्वामिन्ति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेश तारिणे Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Jai हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, text number 37. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kam Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhi Enamiha Vairinam. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. So we covered the purport till first two paragraphs. No, first paragraph. One, two paragraphs. Third, last paragraph we discussed. Read third paragraph.
The inquiry from there. The inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta Sutras, wherein it is said, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. One should inquire into the Supreme, and the Supreme is defined in Srimad Bhagavatam as Janmadi Asya Yato,
Anvayat Itaratascha.
or the origin of everything is the Supreme Brahman.
Wait. So human life is meant to inquire about Supreme Lord. All other inquiries are needed, but they should be secondary. Where is my food, clothing, shelter? These inquiries are needed, but these inquiries are secondary. All these inquiries should be to support our primary inquiry about the absolute truth. So that's how the human life should be. People do opposite. People go to their Supreme Lord and inquire about food, clothing, shelter. No. Body is given, so whatever is needful for the body is also provided. And you cannot get more or less than what is destined for you. You cannot. So when you cannot get more nor less, why you bother about it? Just focus on absolute truth. Inquire about Supreme Lord. So one should inquire about Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord is that from where the whole creation comes. All the energies, spiritual energies, everything comes from that Supreme Lord. And one should inquire about that Supreme Lord. Read further.
Therefore, the origin of lust is also the Supreme. If if therefore lust is transformed into love for the Supreme or transformed into Krishna consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized.
Wait. So desire. Every living entity has desire. Whether that living entity is in tree body or cat body or human body or any body. Every living entity has desire. So we all are coming from the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord has desires, we have desire. So in that we desire, the origin of desire is Krishna only. But problem is we misuse it. We misuse our desires for our selfish motives, for our material fulfillment. So because of our misuse of our desires, we invite miseries in our life. So we should desire to serve Krishna. We should desire to sacrifice ourselves for Krishna's pleasure. We should desire to accept pain for Krishna's pleasure. So when we desire in this positive manner, then Krishna will award the supreme spiritual bliss. You may suffer material pain in this world, but you will experience enormous spiritual joy which cannot be attained by any other means. So one should be, great devotees are happy to accept the material pain because they're experiencing joy on the spiritual level. It's like this whole thing that someone he he may he may he may lose the bus ticket, but he is getting opportunity to ride in a good car comfortably. So what's the problem in losing bus ticket? No problem. That pain is okay. So like that, material pain is okay for devotee because he is experiencing spiritual bliss. So we find in examples, so many devotees example, they are badly suffering. Pandavas were suffering badly. Vishnu Pitama is suffering badly with arrows. Sant Tukaram suffered so much. So we find so much misery in devotees' life. And they happily accept it because they are experiencing higher spiritual joy. On the other hand, if we are simply trying to protect our material comfort and happiness only, then you never get the opportunity to experience high spiritual joy because you are just limiting yourself in material realm only. You are not ready to sacrifice yourself in devotion for Krishna. So then you don't get it. But Pandavas, they sacrificed themselves fully in devotion for Krishna. Prahlad sacrificed himself. So they naturally get the higher devotional experience. So one should be ready to accept the pain in devotion for Krishna. And he will not lose anything. Materially, definitely he will lose. And materially, we should lose. If we are not losing materially, then we remain bound in the material world. So materially, we should lose. And then we will gain spiritually. Read.
Hanuman, the great servitor of Lord Ram, exhibited his wrath by burning the golden city of Ravan. But by doing so, he became the greatest devotee of the Lord.
Wait. So Hanuman became angry and he is counted as great devotee. We may think that okay, I will also become angry and I will become great devotee. No, to use anger in devotion is okay, but you become qualified for that first. So, in our conditioned state, It is suggested that don't use anger. Hanuman is one example of being angry. What about so many other examples who didn't become angry? Haridas Thakur, he was beaten up in 22 marketplace. He didn't become angry. Tukaram, he was beaten up. He didn't become angry. And so many other examples. Kanak Das, he was beaten up. He didn't become angry. So why not follow this example instead of thinking of the example of Hanuman and Arjuna who became angry? They are special souls. They are so pure that they can use anger. Us to come to that level of purity, first exercise tolerance, not anger. So difficult situations will come, trouble will come. Don't become angry. Better tolerate. Okay. Yes, Hanuman became angry in Krishna's service, and Arjuna became angry in Krishna's service. But this is not the only way to serve Krishna by becoming angry. Okay. Why not being humble and serve Krishna? That is also the way. Ultimately, your consciousness should be devotional. Someone may say that fine, then I will be angry and keep my devotional consciousness. It's easy to say, difficult to practice. As soon as you become angry, your own ego comes up. So why to become angry? Better remain humble, and that's how you will crush your ego. First, let ego be purified fully, and then you can become angry. Right now, our ego is very much contaminated, so it requires to be crushed. So don't become angry. Better be humble. Parikshit Maharaj didn't become angry like that. So better remain humble, tolerate, and serve devotees. That's how crush your ego, purify yourself, and that is a better path for us than following Hanuman. Okay? Yes, read.
Here also in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord induces Arjuna to engage his wrath upon the enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. Therefore, lust and wrath, when they are employed in Krishna consciousness, become our friends instead of our enemies.
Mhm. So, lust and wrath, or desire and anger. So, anger is little tough to apply in Krishna service. Better keep yourself away from it. As far as desire is concerned, that's okay. So, desire only to serve Krishna. In desire also, we become very much trapped. I am doing this only for service Krishna, serving Krishna. It's easy to say. I am starting new factory. It's for Krishna. Very easy to say. But why not offer everything for Krishna? What you have, first offer that, then begin something new. So we should not cheat ourselves by saying that whatever I desire is for Krishna. Better accept the desire of other devotees and serve them. That's how we should we should engage our desire in Krishna consciousness. And as far as anger is concerned, keep ourselves away from it. It's not good. Okay. Next verse. I was thinking just all of you read. I don't know. This cordless mic comes. You have? Have? But it doesn't work well.
gives that sound to this. We have
Yeah.
batteries also, and
I was thinking during this Deepavali, there's I just saw it. I mean, many months back. This boat speaker system is there. Boat.
Okay.
It was costing around 5,500, 6,000, something like that. And it didn't had cordless mic system. I think so. It was only having wire mic. But I think that cordless mic system is available in the market where you put something.
USB receiver.
Yes, it that way it makes,
Either Bluetooth or USB.
yeah, something. So see, during this Deepavali, things are available cheap, it seems, isn't it?
we don't know much of it. How what kind of thing should be bought? Even this is somewhere around 4,000 rupees.
Is it? But that cordless mic doesn't work, no? Cordless
The
is
distance is less, I feel.
okay.
It needs a longer
It
distance.
catches its own sound.
It needs
Noise.
a longer distance. The cordless mic, especially.
Hmm.
That is what I feel is the problem with this system.
Cordless mic needs longer distance.
At least we should be at that corner.
Okay.
This is very near for it.
Why don't you try your system then? And not now. Some other time. See if it works, whatever. If that cordless system is working with distance, we at least get to know that what is the problem.
आपण इथे बसलो तर ती सिस्टमच तिकडे कोपऱ्यात ठेवायची.
ही वायर काय नाही त्याला पॉवरची.
माईक पासून कशी वायर केली.
Think about it. But get a good solution. Then it will be nice. Okay, next verse. धूमेनाव्रियते वह्निर्यथादर्शो मलेन च यथैतेनाव्रतो गर्भस्तथा तेनेदमावृतम्. Read translation.
As the fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust.
So, basically, point to understand is this, that the soul, which is originally in its pure state, wants to only serve Krishna. That soul, its original state gets fully covered with desires. Now, how much degree of desires are there, how much desires are there? Like our desires, so much material desires, we have so many material desires that the nature of the soul gets completely covered. So just like embryo is covered with womb, like child in mother's womb is completely covered, isn't it? Child cannot, whatever child thought process is there, nothing can be exhibited outside. It's just completely covered, isn't it? Child may be thinking that it's too painful here. It, child thinks in mother's womb that it's too painful here, but even mother doesn't realize it. Mother is feeling of her own pain, like that. So point is the child is so much covered in womb that its thoughts are not available outside. So like that living entity is so much covered with so many other desires that the original nature of living entity to serve Krishna, it's completely covered. It doesn't come out. So this is one degree of covering. Another degree of covering, this is the deepest degree of embryo covered with womb. Lesser than that is mirror covered with dust. When mirror is covered with dust, at least you can have some faint imagination that this is some kind of picture is there, something is there. Nothing clear, but still something. That's mirror covered with dust. And lesser than that is fire covered with smoke. Fire may be covered with smoke, but still you can see the fire and you can experience the heat. Isn't it? So you can see the fire, you can experience the heat. So that is much lesser covering. When embryo is covered with mother's womb, nothing can be experienced outside. When fire is covered with smoke, you can experience fire. And when mirror is covered with dust, the experience is in between, isn't it? Like that. So read purport.
There are three degrees of covering of the living entity by which his pure consciousness is occurred. This covering is but cast under different manifestations like smoke in the fire, dust on the mirror, womb and the womb about the embryo. When lust is compared to smoke, it is understood that the fire of the living spark can be a little perceived. In other words, when the living entity exhibits his Krishna consciousness lightly, he may be likened to the fire covered by smoke.
So,
Although,
for example, our case we can say fire covered by smoke, something like that. Read.
although fire is necessary where there is smoke, there is no overt manifestation of fire in the early stage. This stage is like the beginning of Krishna consciousness. The dust on the mirror refers to a cleansing process of the mirror of the mind by so many spiritual methods. The best process is to chant the holy names of the Lord.
Wait. So when you begin the fire, of course, you speak about making lighting the fire in your cooking stove. There are no smoke comes, right? When you are making the fire from the wood, so in the beginning, lot of smoke comes, as I understand, and later smoke goes away, only fire remains. So similarly, in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, lot of material desires along with Krishna consciousness. Material desires is like smoke. And later what will remain is only Krishna consciousness, no material desires. Like that. And second example is given of the dust covered with the mirror. No, mirror covered with the dust. So yes. So mirror is compared to our mind. And when the dust over that mirror is removed, then one can see himself very clearly in the mirror. Similarly, when all these material thoughts, contamination are completely removed, then one can see oneself very clearly in relationship with God. So, so like that is explained. Read further. Read now.
The embryo covered by the womb is an analogy illustrating a helpless position, for the child in the womb is so helpless that he cannot even move. This stage of living condition can be compared to that of the trees. The trees are also living entities, but they have been put in such a condition of life by such a great exhibition of lust that they are almost void of all consciousness.
Wait. So it's compared to trees. But it can be compared to some other human being also who is completely materialistic. They will become trees next life because they are so materialistic, so sinful. So point is this degree of lust, degree of material desires. Greed.
The covered mirror is compared to the birds and beasts, and the smoke covered fire is compared to the human being.
So of course, smoke covered with fire that is compared to human being, and mirror covered with dust is compared to birds and beasts. But still, I mean, the way I explained, even human beings, if I mean, where is the question of animal practicing Krishna consciousness? And there are so many human beings who are not at all interested in Krishna consciousness. So their consciousness covered simply like child covered with the womb. Yes, the example is given here that way, but we can apply it to human being also. Okay, read now.
In the form of a human being, the living entity may revive a little Krishna consciousness, and if it makes for development, the fire of the spiritual life can be kindled in the human form of the life. By careful handling of the smoke in the fire, fire can be made to blaze. Therefore, the human form of life is a chance for the human entity to escape the entanglement of material existence.
Wait. So just like womb, child is there in the mother's womb, but when the child takes birth, that child is able to exhibit himself, express himself. So similarly, someone may be in completely dark consciousness, no interest in Krishna. Gradually, Krishna's mercy falls upon him. He will also practice Krishna consciousness. Right? So many people are like that, who are completely majestic, no interest in Krishna. Later, something happened in their life and they became devotees. So, yeah, so just like the example is given here that when smoke covered with fires handle the smoke nicely so that fire increases. So similarly, I mean, someone may be in the consciousness of child covered with womb earlier. Later, his consciousness will become mirror covered with dust, and later his consciousness would be like fire covered with smoke, and later further become pure only fire, only Krishna consciousness. Read you.
In the human form of life, one can conquer the enemy, lust, by cultivation of Krishna consciousness under able guidance.
So desires can be controlled only by bhakti, no other way. You may practice austerities for thousands of years, but still material desires cannot be controlled. It's like this only. You can keep the ice inside the refrigerator for 100 years. After you remove it, it will melt. So, like that, you may keep your material desires completely controlled by practicing austerities, but let the opportunity come. Material desires will manifest. It is not burnt by practice of austerities or by any other yogic process. Material desires are not burnt, they are only kept under control. So, only when you do bhakti, then all these material desires are fully burnt, and then there is no scope of new material desires coming. So, only by bhakti can we conquer the material desires. There is no other process. And bhakti has to be performed under guidance of the devotees. To the degree we follow the guidelines of the devotees, to that degree we will grow in bhakti and will be able to control our material desires. So one of the sign of our growth in bhakti is this only. How much we are away from material desires and how much we are only for spiritual desires, serving Krishna and devotees. Right? So in this way we should grow in bhakti. Next verse. आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पुरु दुष्पुरेण नलेन च. Read.
Thus, the wise living entity, pure consciousness, becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire.
Hmm. So desires never satisfied and it burns like fire. So one thing is clear that desires are never satisfied. Someone may say, no, I satisfied my desires. There is a difference between fulfilling desires and satisfaction of desires. We only fulfill desires, we don't satisfy desires. You wanted to eat some nice sweets. You got it. Your desires are fulfilled. Does this mean that you do not want any more the sweets? No, you want again. So desires are fulfilled but not satisfied. So material desires are never satisfied. The nature is like that. On the other hand, spiritual desires are satisfied. If you fulfill spiritual desires, you will feel satisfaction. You will feel joy, satisfaction. So, and material desires, they burns like fire. What does it mean? So, yeah, just like fire, you when it is burning, Like you supply the fuel to the fire and fire burns. So like that you supply the material objects to the desires, desire burns. So why this comparison with the fire? Like the fire, of course, I mean, we all have experience of the fire. It disturbs us basically. It doesn't give a positive experience, it gives a negative experience. Fire disturbs us. You are supplying fuel to the fire and more disturbance is going to come, right? More fuel to the fire, that means more fire and more disturbance. Similar is the nature of material desires. You supply more objects to the material desires, and material desires are going to disturb you more. Similar. For example, you wanted a smartphone, so you got a smartphone. It's a good one. But then your desire is to get better one, and then you get better, and you want further better, like that. So this keeps happening. It's not that you gave fuel to the fire and the fire just cools down. No, it increases. It increases. And more fuel is given, more fire, like that, and more disturbance. So, like that, more objects you provide to the desires, it doesn't remain silent, it increases. Earlier, you just wanted some smartphone. Now you want better smartphone, and then further you want much upgraded smartphone. So desires are increasing, just like fire is increasing. By giving fuel to the fire, fire increases. By giving objects to material desires, desires increases. It doesn't stop. That's why desire is compared to fire. Understood? And fire is disturbs us. Similarly, desires they disturb us because it's increasing more and more. Okay. Like that. And another point I would say is fire burns. It just burns the things. Similarly, material desires, it completely burns our Krishna consciousness. You know, more you get into material desires, you will lose interest in Krishna consciousness. It just burns your Krishna consciousness completely. So that's how this material desires is compared to fire. So 3 points I said in material desire comparing to fire. First, just like fire disturbs us, so material desires are disturbing us. People don't realize this also. People think that material desires means joy. No, it's disturbance. Without material desires, you can be so peaceful and happy. When material desires comes, you are in anxiety. You are disturbed. You cannot sleep because you have material desires. But people in ignorance do not understand this. and they think that to have material desires is nice. No, only Krishna conscious desires are good. Material desires are simply going to disturb us. Okay. Someone is interested in eating some special food a in a some fantastic hotel which is 20 kilometers away. Just see. He wants to eat something in a hotel which is 20 kilometers away. Now, this desire is going to disturb him so much. He has to go 20 kilometers, 20 kilometers traffic he has to handle. So much time goes and then reach there. So much of trouble. Like that. So people think that to have material desires is good, but they are not able to see the trouble. Like this in every material desire is like that. Every material desire. Take any material desire, so much trouble. Well, someone may say, but this is counted as success. More you are able to fulfill material desires, more you are successful. This is counted as success. See, people may count something as success. Why you are becoming fooled by that? Can't you see the struggle into it? If without that struggle we can live peacefully and happy, why not? Just like someone have material desires, I want to become cricket star. How much competition, how much struggle? Is it easy to become cricket star? You are unnecessarily putting yourself in so much of anxiety and trouble. Huh? You can't. You have to every day. You have to restrict yourself from eating restricted diet. You cannot sleep. You have to wake up early in the morning, go for exercise and all that. So much trouble, so much hard endeavor, so much of practice. So just for one material fulfillment of one material desire, so much of struggle one has to do. And still there is no scope that you will become the cricket star. So how much pain is there? So one person may become a cricket star, let's say, someone will become a cricket star. So he will enjoy. Well, he is enjoying, but how much endeavor, how much struggle he went through it, and what kind of enjoyment he is experiencing. After all, he is also eating 2, 3 chapatis only. He is sleeping also only in 2 by 6 bed only. Whatever. What enjoyment? Only people may be clapping for him. That's all. But why you are becoming fooled by that? What is this? For me, people may not clap. What is the issue? What is the issue? I am sleeping peacefully. I am getting what I need to eat. What special that cricket star is eating? Anyway, they cannot eat because they have to maintain their good health. I am eating better than them. You understand? So people are unnecessarily getting into this illusory success and causing their lives so much of pain. Okay. So it's just like the fire is burning them. Their desires are burning them. And they are feeling that as the success, that as the accomplishment, achievement. Foolishness. So we shouldn't get into this trap of material desires. I gave the example of becoming cricket star. But even small material desires can be the trap. Why to bother about these material desires? Better have only Krishna conscious desire, serving Krishna, fulfilled good well and good. Not fulfilled, no issue. I wanted only to serve Krishna. Not fulfilled, no issue. I have no attachment. I have attachment only for Krishna. Like that. In both cases, I am happy. But when material desires, so much struggle, and unless you achieve it, you are not happy. And even after achieving it, you have to maintain it. So much struggle for that. So it's not easy. So material desires are like fire. It disturbs us. Unfortunately, people are not able to perceive that disturbance. But it disturbs us. Okay. So this is one reason material desire is compared to fire. Of course, this the disturbance of fire is too much. I mean, it burns very badly when it burns. But the analogy is this only, just like fire disturbs, so material desire disturbs. And second part is fire only increases as the fuel is given. Similarly, material desires only increases as the objects are given. It doesn't come, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. You wanted gulab jamun, so you got gulab jamun. It's not that your desires are over. No, next time again you want, and better sweets like that, more sweets. It doesn't stop. And third thing, that it burns our consciousness. It burns our consciousness. Just like fire burns the objects. Material desires, it burns our consciousness. And because of which we suffer repeatedly in this world. So that is why material desires are compared to fire. Okay. So we should keep ourselves away from these material desires. Even for the devotees, within the realm of devotion, you get caught up with these material desires. So we should be very much safeguard ourselves and not get into the material shades of Krishna consciousness. Keep ourselves very much pure in Krishna consciousness. So, so, so it is expected that we should have spiritual desires and serve Krishna. No more material desires. That's going to burn us. Yes, read further.
It is said in Manusmriti that lust cannot be satisfied by any amount of sense-enjoyment, just as fire is never extinguished by a constant supply of fuel. In the material world, the center of all activity is sex, and thus this material world is called
Maithunya Agar.
Maithunya, or the
Shackles.
shackles of sex life. In the ordinary prison house, criminals are kept within bars. Similarly, the criminals who are disobedient to the laws of the Lord are shackled by sex life. Advancement of material civilization on the basis of sense gratification means increasing the duration of the material existence of living entity.
Wait, what is the advancement of material civilization? More shops for sense gratification, that's all, isn't it? What you consider a developed city, more shopping malls, isn't it? That's all. Better and better shops. All new modern things are available in that city. That's all. Simply fulfillment, simply providing so many objects for your material desires. This is advancement of material civilization. More and more fulfillment of material desires. And what is the outcome of this? More and more you are bound with the material objects. And that means more and more you will suffer in this material world. No, we should stop it too. No material desires, only Krishna conscious desires. Serving Krishna, pleasing Krishna is my only desire, no more material desires. That's how our life should be. We do not want to be the part of materialistic civilization. Yes, people will consider ourselves as fool. That's what will happen. People will consider you as fool. That's okay. I am peaceful. You struggle and call me fool. I will tolerate this insult from you, but I will remain peaceful. Tukaram was called as fool, right? So like that. So let people call us fool, no issue. But you remain peaceful. You remain happy. What is the problem? Just serve Krishna, whatever Krishna has given you capacity, and be happy. Don't run after material desires. Use your full potential in Krishna's service, and you'll be happy. Read.
Therefore, this lust is symbol of ignorance, by which the living entity is kept within the material world.
Wait. Material desires is considered a symbol of ignorance. See, material desires are in goodness, passion, ignorance, all three. Okay. Compared to pure devotion, even goodness is also ignorance. Compared to pure, completely clean white, another white dress which is 1 year old is considered little blackish. Okay. Compared, so similarly, compared to pure devotion, even goodness is considered as ignorance. But the material desires are in three shades: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Read.
While one enjoys some gratification, it may be that there is some feelings of happiness, but actually, that so-called feeling of happiness is the ultimate enemy of the sense of joy.
Very important statement. So called feeling of happiness is your ultimate enemy. Yes. Because you want it more, and thus you are caught up in the material world more. So we don't want material happiness. If it comes, fine. If it comes, fine. But don't become attached to it. I come here, I may sit in this seat. Another place I may go, I may sit in the floor. No, no, there also they should give me good seat. If I become attached like this, that means I have invited the misery in my life. So we should not be interested in all such material happiness. Be happy in serving Krishna, pleasing Krishna, glorifying Krishna. That's all. Let Krishna become happy. That should be my only goal. As soon as I think of my happiness, trouble begins immediately. So, even, let's say simple thing, I want prasad. Trouble begins. Someday you may not get, isn't it? As per your choice, whatever. Trouble begins. Of course, you can desire, no issue, but don't become overly attached to it. Don't become overly attached to it. Problem lies in attachment only. Okay. So, so there is happiness. But when you become attached to it, then it becomes sense gratification. You are honoring prasad. It's good. It gives some joy, some happiness. As soon as you become attached to it, it becomes sense gratification. If you are not attached to it, if you are devotionally minded, it becomes devotional service. Very simple. Okay. Any activity, if you become attached to it, it becomes sense gratification. If you are in devotional mind frame, it becomes devotional service. Arjuna is fighting, that is devotional service. Duryodhana is fighting, that is sense gratification. For the kingdom only he was doing everything. So his fighting was sense gratification. Arjuna's fighting was devotional service. I am eating prasad with devotional mind frame, that is devotional service. Someone is eating prasad with sense gratification, with enjoyment, sense gratification. Of course, it will help because they're eating prasad. But they could have get better health, better growth in Krishna consciousness if they would have kept nice mind frame. But because they didn't have nice mental frame, they were in sense gratification, so didn't get much benefit. So many people they may come to Govinda to eat, isn't it? So they will come. Fine, it will help that they have come at least to temple premises. They will take darshan of deities, expected hope. They are giving money to temple. So that was good. But if you keep devotional consciousness, much better. So so what happens is like it's easy to speak philosophy like this. It's easy to speak philosophy. But conditioning are so strong that one one unknowingly enjoys it. It happens. Conditioning are so strong. So you cannot do much about that conditioning. So, so from at our stage we can do only this much. That don't become attached to it. Yes, when prasad comes, you are honoring prasad and you are experiencing nice taste of it and you will enjoy. But don't become attached to it. Be grateful to Krishna. Don't think that I am entitled for it. Be grateful to Krishna. Don't become attached to it. That is one thing we can do. And it may happen that attachment will also happen unknowingly. It just happens. So it will happen to us unknowingly, but Krishna knows everything. So Krishna will break that attachment then in some situation. Like Indra became attached to Indra Puja. So Krishna broke his attachment. So like that Krishna will break our attachment. Accept it gratefully. That also. When Krishna is going to break us, it will be painful because we become attached. But accept that pain also gratefully. So not becoming attached and being grateful is the only key. You cannot overcome the conditioning of this material world too much. It's difficult. It's easy. It is Unknowingly, we just become attached. So, yes, unknowingly it happens. We don't want it, but it happens. And so just be detached, don't become attached, and be grateful. And Krishna will, I mean, allow Krishna to purify us. That's all. Allow Krishna to purify us. And as he will purify our conditioning, then we will not become attached also. That's all. So we'll stop now. Shiva Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.